When does training camp start for you? When does all that begin?
July 23rd.
Okay.
That's a report date. Yeah, travel day's the 22nd.
Okay.
Report date's the 23rd. I feel like they keep bumping up on us. Like last year was the 26th. Like my first 2 years, it was the 29th or 30th.
Well, why don't you speak to Kyle about that?
It's not Kyle. That's the league.
It's the league.
That's the league. So I'll call my NFLPA rep.
Yeah, get right on that.
It's not me.
Get right on that. Would you be up for switching around the offseason? Do you heard about this?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in.
You would be.
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all in on it. Well, one thing, I've been an advocate of this. Well, one, like it's inevitably first, it's going to get to 18 games at some point, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think I've said it for like ever since we got to 17 games. I was like, just give us 2 buys, and it just adds an extra week to the season, anyways. Because now you're instead of 18 weeks, now you're at 19 weeks, so that's another week of football that you're on TV with all the ads and all that stuff. Increases the season long, and it gives guys an extra week of rest because you need that. It's hard to play 18 games. But like, I'm totally fine with that. Just give us 2 buys. And then you go to the offseason, I'm just like, well, if you play throughout the entire playoffs, right? You're playing in mid-February, and you're supposed to show up April 15th for phase 1 of OTAs. It's pretty aggressive, right? Like, that's not really a lot of time for your body to heal, regenerate. I mean, just like to let your mind and your body both rest, right?
Uh-huh.
That's not a lot of time. So, like, I'm a huge fan of, like, I'm totally okay to get rid of OTAs. Maybe not entirely, or like, maybe it's just the month of May. Or maybe it's, hey, there's a 2-week rookie mini camp. Or, hey, if you're new to the team, you show up for a week or two at a current time period in May. Mm-hmm. But then, like, why not just bump up? Like, I'm down to start training camp, like, I don't know, mid-July. Like, I'm not gonna say, hey, you can start on July 4th weekend, because I like July 4th. I'm gonna celebrate it.
Yeah.
Because it's a fantastic day. But like, just start training camp like 2 weeks earlier and have it a ramp up period. Practice starts like end of July still. You get 2 weeks of ramp up, guys report, you get all the playbook install in, and then training camp could be a little bit more streamlined. But like, I'm all in for that, because I think taking 2 months in the middle of the spring is pretty aggressive.
I just don't know if coaches would, or if your coaches would go for.
Oh no, Kyle loves football, which I also love football too. But
no, I know
you need time away.
I know he loves football, right? Just for them though to not see you until May, I think would get some coaches and front offices a little antsy.
That's fair, and like, I think
you're like, and they may not have to worry about. There may be some other players that they'd want to get a look-see on, or have them in, or get them in the playbook, or on the field.
Technically, OTAs is not mandatory, anyways, right?
Right.
I mean, so like,
except for one.
Yeah, except for that one 3-day block, right? So like, if you want to have one of those, sure, but I think if you're past like year 5, you're in the league for a reason. Like, it's not luck at this point. You have a good work ethic. You're doing the right things. Like, you can take care of yourself. Like, you don't need to go show up and do 2 weeks of phase 1, which is an hour of training and an hour of film watching. You can do that via Zoom. We proved that during 2020. Like, you can do it all then. Like, if you want to have online meetings, I have no problem with that. If you want to go through install stuff, like, I'm always down to watch football and to talk football. But I think, like, making guys, go to a facility for 2 months and be there, I don't know. I think that's pretty aggressive.
Did you see what Burrow told the Pardon My Take guys? Did you
I think
see
I might have. You want to refresh my memory?
Yeah, it's similar to what you said a few minutes ago, that Burrow's like, if it goes to 18 games, give me 2 buys.
Yep.
Was it a week 13
Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl, like everyone has off.
The whole week is off. Yeah,
everybody's
the whole
off.
Week is off. Yeah.
And then you have the Pro Bowl, I imagine, skills, because you're not going to be playing a game in the middle of the season.
No.
And there'll even be some teams like, you're not throwing, you're not catching, you're not running, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is like a hammy or whatever in the middle of a season.
No, but it could be like a trick show. Like, you'd have like just like the quarterbacks throwing at the target and stuff. Like, you still have fun with it.
Sure. So and then there's another bye in the middle, and then you have an 18-week season, which puts I know for a fact there's been a bunch of folks in the NFL offices, front offices, that would love to deliver on what a lot of fans say is they wish there was a national holiday after the Super Bowl, which President's Day weekend would deliver.
I mean,
so
it's like
you like that idea? You would do that?
I mean, it's the biggest sporting event of the year, really, isn't it?
Why?
I mean, in America, at least.
You would know. You've played in a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. You'd be fine with that. You think a lot of your teammates and colleagues would?
I think if you put 2 buys on the table, I think a lot of guys are going to be more okay with it. I mean, I think when we did the CBA and we were like at 16 games and like 17 games was not ever on the table, and then all of a sudden it just was, like, I think it's inevitable that, The owner's going to be, hey, this is what we want to do. And there's going to be some give and take. But if that's something that they really want to do, like, it's going to be like, okay, well, what's the negotiation? Like, what can we get out of it too? And so whether it's 2 buys or there are other things that, we haven't thought of yet, there's going to be a conversation there. And as long as they're giving guys' bodies actual time off, because like I said, playing 16 games in a row is hard. Playing 17's really hard. And then you throw the playoffs onto it. And now you're going to add an 18th game. Yeah, it's a lot of football.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.